Alright, got another job to do on my Lincoln, and that is to replace the rear shocks. I noticed that if you hear it there when you push down, but on this side, when you push down, you don't hear anything. I also noticed that when I'm driving it, when you go over some bumps, it really starts to kind of bounce and bottom out a little bit. So anyways, yeah, it's got a on the passenger side, I think it's wrecked. So anyways, I'm gonna jack it up and replace both the rear shocks. There, that should be nice and high to work underneath it. It'd be nice if they made the extensions for these jacks a little longer, but this piece of steel rod seems to work fine as long as you don't push on it too much and break the jack. I haven't done that yet, but I probably will. Oh, there we go. I was panicking. I kind of took a look under the car and didn't see the shock because on my 2011 Crown Vic, it's just behind the axle, but on this one, it's on the front. I looked underneath here and I could see the air ride suspension. Let's see if I get a better angle from here. But anyways, yeah, there it is. There's the bag for the air ride suspension, and here's the mount for the shock over here. Yeah, I looked under the car. I didn't see the shock behind the axle, so I thought maybe it was part of the airbag, but it's not that, fortunately. So anyways, I'm gonna spray both of these with some liquid wrench so it comes off a little easier, and start taking everything apart. I gotta figure out how I can get where's the top for it. Okay, yeah, it's in there. Can you see it? Okay, yeah, I'm not sure how to get to that. I might have to, I don't know if there's a place inside to get to that, but anyways, I'll take a look. I'll spray everything with liquid wrench and then figure out where to go from there. I took my new shocks out of the box just to have a look at them, because it usually gives me indications on how to easiest way to take them off. It looks like on the end here it's got a flat feature there, so hopefully I can grip onto that to get this nut off. But anyways, maybe the first thing I'll do is see if I can loosen that nut on the car and see if the shock turns. Let's see, that looks fixed, so I can always grip onto this part too, or I'll grip onto that. But anyways, I'll see how it goes and join you there. There, I'm going to just grab my tools. Looks like this top nut, the nut for the top of the shock, it's a 14 millimeter or 9/16 will fit. The bottom, the bigger nut, that one looks to be a 19 millimeter. I think I might use my impact for it though, because I'll make it go a little faster. All right, well, time to crawl into the car and have some fun. Yeah, I don't know if you can see this, but anyways, I've got my wrench on there now. The trouble light's just on the inside. Yeah, the nuts, it's way the hell in there. It's kind of a tough reach. I can barely reach with my fingers. I was kind of hoping there'd be something on the inside there, like in the trunk, that I could, like a little access hole with a plug on it you could take off to reach, but there's nothing like that. Yeah, underneath. Let's see if I can crawl underneath here. Too bouncy. Anyways, yeah, it's not too much better there either. I can kind of see where let's see if I can get in here. Bear with me. Oh, did it start? Is it running now? I think my video started. Anyways, let's see, where did I leave off? Yeah, there's the go way up in here. I think we can see it. Yeah, there it is. It's up in there. That's where we're trying to reach. So anyways, like I said, I'm gonna see if I can, I'm gonna take my tires off and see if that helps get to this. Otherwise, it's a real pain. Yeah. Take a look at it that way. But yeah. There, I got the wheel off. One thing I always find is that if you have the car jacked up and need to take the tire off and need to put a wheel wrench on it, usually jamming a couple 2x4s and catching the tread can kind of help with that. But anyways, yeah, I should have probably taken the tire off right from the beginning instead of trying to mess with it with the wheel on, because you don't have a whole lot of access in here. But anyways, let's see here. Yeah, if I get the wrench on the top nut and try holding it by the shock. Yeah, I can kind of hear that. Yeah, it still turns, so I think what I'm going to have to do is put my vice grips, or put a vice grip at the top anyways, and see if I can hold it that way. Otherwise, the only other option is to lower the shock down all the way and see if I can either grip onto the shaft with vice grips, or even if I have to, maybe grind a flat spot on it to do that. But anyways, I'm going to try getting my vice grips up here and see if that works first. Maybe I need better light. Let's see if you can see this. Anyways, I got my adjustable wrench inside there to get on the top, and then went in there with my other wrench and managed to get the nut. At least started loosening the nut. Yeah, there it is. Anyways, that seems to be the way to get this off. I think now that the nut is loosened, it should come off pretty readily. Probably a good thing to wear gloves. Of course, one helpful hint is let's see, once you get the nut started, it comes off pretty easily. So at that point, you can probably take your adjustable wrench off of the top and then just spin it by hand from the bottom. And once it gets even more off, then what you can do is just get in here with your hand and just kind of spin this thing, because it spins off pretty readily, as long as it's not too rusty. Yeah, I thought this was a 19 millimeter, but it looks like the one on here takes an 18 millimeter, but it's kind of a little bit on the long side, so it takes a deep drive. I put my 19 millimeter on here, the short drive, and managed just to kind of wear off the edges of the nut a bit. I managed to get the nut off a little bit, but the thing is there's a lot of rust on here, so it kind of jammed up and stopped. My impact wasn't able to quite get it to keep spinning. So anyways, what I'm going to do is take my wire brush, my wire wheel, and see if I can clean this up a little bit. And then maybe I might have to use, well, this is really the only socket I have of a deep drive 18 millimeters, so I'll have to use that with my with a regular wrench or ratchet to get that off. So what I think I'm going to do is clean up with a wire wheel and see if I can do the other side as well and get started on that. And hopefully I can get a 18 millimeter deep drive impact socket, so I can take these off a little quicker. There, I took a look at my Haynes manual just to see if I'm missing anything, because that's always a good idea to look at when you're halfway through a job, so you know what you've already screwed up. Anyways, one thing I should have done, which I don't know if it matters in this case, but is to shut off the air ride suspension before you raise the car and lower the axle. That allows it to, I guess, go to a higher ride height. Yeah, anyways, I did have the car shut off for over an hour before I raised it, so I don't know if that makes a difference. I did turn it off now. They do say to disconnect your airbag if you have the air ride. Yeah, I don't know if I'll do that. I do have a jack under the axle to hold it up, because once you take the shocks off, it might lower. So that's a thing to remember. And I also have to remember to extend and compress my new shocks 3 times. I guess I need to do that, but I'll worry about that once I am ready to put them in. Okay, I'm going to get started on the other side and hopefully it goes better than the first side. Alright, let's get the second one out. I tried forcing all the air out of my first one by extending right side up and compressing upside down, so let's see how it goes with this one. So let's see, they want you to extend it all the way right side up and then compress it upside down 3 times. Yeah, don't know how optimistic I'm about these shocks. I should have ordered the better ones from Rock Auto, but I was kind of in a hurry to get this car back on the road because it was bouncing pretty bad. Don't really like it bottoming out when you're trying to drive it. There we go. There, I got the first side off by hand, just using my my socket and my ratchet. Anyways, yeah, definitely cleaning it up with a wire wheel helps. Learn that the hard way. And there, the car seems to be working now. The battery in my phone went dead, so I wasn't able to get the last of the repair. But anyways, I got the car back together and took it for a test drive. It doesn't seem to have the same bounce, so that's pretty good. It's more of a glide than a bounce. The one weird thing I did notice is that after extending the suspension by dropping the axle down, when I did take the car off the jacks, I did notice the both airbags basically completely deflated. So the axle went right up to the stops pretty much. When I lowered it down, it basically lowered right down onto my my jack. But I started the car up and turned the air suspension back on, and it did raise it up enough to get the jack out and take it for a drive. So I found that kind of weird. Anyways, I'll keep driving it and just see if it does anything weird. But yeah, it seems to be better, much better now with the new shocks.